Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I have with me my son, Lexford Rayon Earle.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Lexford. Thank you for agreeing to this interview with me. In
Not used
fact,
to you telling me Lexford.
oh my God, I forgot to change your name to Rayon, which is the name I prefer. But I mean, if your correct name is Lexford, I'll stay with it.
This is what the government said. But yes,
Those of you who are watching, I have been trying to get my son to do an interview on my page for years, but I've not succeeded. I wasn't able to get him to
here.
do it. But now he has agreed to do this interview, and I'm excited to have him. My son lives in Orlando, in Florida. Currently, I'm in Miami at my sister's house, and we are going to be talking about repairing roofs. All right. And why is it so important? Good evening, Nadine. Thank you so much for joining. Now, I sent my son to university to get his first degree. Then he decided he was going to get a second degree. So he went and he did his master's. So I thought my son would be in a jacket and tie in an office, in the field that he did his master's program in. But he has surprised me and decided that, he wanted to do his own business. He didn't want to work in any office setting per se. He wanted to take in his own money, be an entrepreneur. So, first of all, I want to congratulate you on that. Tell me though, why after I've spent so much money sending you to school,
Oh boy.
why why you opted to take on this new role that you have, and the name of your company as well, the company that you're contracted to right now is Distinctive
Distinctive.
Contractors, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Well,
Talk to me about that.
first of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me. Of course, I really do appreciate it. It hasn't been years; it's been a year since you've asked me to do the live, and I I wanted to, but as busy as I am, you're the busiest person that I know. So it it just wasn't. It had not materialized. But especially with the hurricane, it seemed like more than an opportune time for us to talk about what this is. So, clarification, it's not roof repairs; it's roof replacements. I
Oh,
don't.
sorry, roof replacements. So
Yes,
ideally, what you do is replace people's roofs.
yes, that's exactly what I do. I've never repaired a roof a day in my life. I replace I replace the entire roof. So, yes,
Ah,
to answer your question directly, why I got into this, as you said, I was an international student here in the United States, in Orlando particularly, and I thought with a master's degree I would have two legs up on people who were in the job market, and I ended up with a entry level call center job, and that led me to being a supervisor, which is great, and I used that to transition into account management a few years ago. But during the pandemic, I lost my job, and coworker of mine from my supervisory days said to me that it would be the easiest work or the easiest money I could make doing work, and I didn't necessarily love the idea of easy work, but I did want more flexibility, especially during the pandemic where my daughter was home every day, and at some point she was doing virtual schooling, so I had to make time for that as well. And roofing. I went out with him one day and just saw what the day to day was. I said, it can't be this. This is something I can do, even though I didn't really have a sales background before that, or have a sales background before that. It didn't seem like sales to me. It seemed like a product that people needed, and I'm all for giving people what they need from a product's perspective. In that sense, I would never be out of business. So living in Florida, hurricanes are not. I will always have business because of just what the roofs are, what the weather is, the tropical climate that we have as well.
Okay, so how has it been going? How exactly do you help homeowners with their roof replacements? What it is that you do?
Well, primarily I go door to door, which is, I'd like to, give credit to the Jehovah Witnesses out there. It is not the easiest line of work at all to go door to door, but I have gone door to door since I've started, and that's the primary way of me getting business. It's knocking on someone's door, introducing myself. Hi, my name is Lex, or if I were introducing myself to you, I'd say Rayon, your son. I'm with Distinctive Contractors, and I'm in the neighborhood replacing one of your neighbor's roofs. And a lot of these roofs are the age. I'd never go to a neighborhood that doesn't have damage or doesn't have an older roof. I'd never go to someone who has a roof that's only 8 years old or 10 years old. Roofs that are 14 to 15, 16 and up, if those roofs are at the point where the insurance company is either A, going to drop you for the roof being old, or they're going to tell you that you need to replace the roof. And a lot of homeowners don't know that. So again, I go door to door primarily. And then I also I'm also good with referrals. People reach out to me, friends, family, co-workers that I've had in other lines of work. They reach out saying, hey, I have someone who, I have a family member, I have a friend that needs their roof replaced or need an inspection done. And the quickest way for me to get business is to give free inspections. So I don't charge for inspections. And we're licensed to do inspections. So you're not letting any and everyone up on your roof. You're actually letting someone who has not just a license, but also insurance in case in the off event I should fall off the roof, you wouldn't be responsible.
Between me and you, and this is an aside, but do you know how many times I have been worried as a mother,
But you're
knowing
going
that
to
you're on
worry.
a roof?
You're going to worry regardless. If I go outside to get something from the car, you might worry about me getting something from the car. So that's just that's just the nature of the beast, so to speak, as being a parent. But I get it. There are times I've been up there, and depending on how steep the roof is, yes, it is not. That part of it is not easy, especially at my height. I feel like I have to crab walk when I'm on the roofs. But
How tall are you?
I'm 6 feet 5 inches tall.
Okay. All right. I see some people saying hi, and I want to say hi to them as well.
Sure.
I see Grace Campbell, your aunt, saying good evening, your cousin, Ashley Angwin saying big up cousin. And I see Angela Burns. I don't know where she is these days. She
I
used to
hope
be
you
in
can find them.
BPI saying, you must set me straight. So
I hope
earlier,
you can
I
find them.
believe I saw a comment from Adrian Freighter, one of my favorite persons in the world, say, oh, me no easy. Hi, Adrian, I hope you're still on. And I see Offrield Mackenzie saying hello, mother and son. And there's Latitra McFarlane who has joined the live.
That
Thank
means so.
you, Latitra. I really appreciate the fact that another cousin of yours is on the live. So, although we have a number of family members that have joined and they already know what you do, I also see where I have a lot of friends that have joined the live. Thank you all for joining us. My other question to you, Lexford, is what are the benefits to the homeowner hiring a contractor, meaning hiring you? Why should they use you or any other contractor for that matter?
That's a really good question. For homeowners, all of them, I should say, uh, feel like they can do stuff around the house, right? They can fix this little issue that they have. They take pride in, fixing whatever little issues come up as a homeowner that you don't require a handyman to do. This climbing a roof is no joke, and I wouldn't recommend a homeowner getting a ladder and going on top of a roof. You don't know if the wood is bad. You don't know if the shingles are old and slippery. And again, I'm a professional. I have the proper shoes that are needed. I have gloves, and I've also been doing this for a few years now, where I know how to maneuver any roof that's there. Another reason someone should hire not just a contractor, but the contractor, myself, is without a storm, how do you really know that there is damage? With the free inspection, with the hiring of the contractor, or even just having the contractor come out, I'm able to go up there. You can watch me while I work. I can take pictures. I can FaceTime if you're not home, and I can show you exactly what the damage looks like and tell you what the insurance company is looking for. From there, we make an educated decision as to whether or not we would go through with the process of having an adjuster come out. And again, we're all busy. Just like this is my job, you have your 15 jobs, and Latidra might have 3, and Mr. Freighter might have another 5 jobs. We're in a society right now where you have to wear many different hats, and the homeowners may not be able to be on the phone with the insurance company or be there when the insurance company comes out to do to have the adjuster take a look at the damage. That's where I come in. I dedicate my time to each home that I sign, and I'm able to be at every appointment as well. I rearrange my life to be available to the homeowner. So that would be the reason to hire the contractor.
You sound like your mother rearranging your life. In fact, I'm sure a little bit of me rubbed off on you. I'm getting that from this interview. So I'm very proud of you. What area do you work in though? In other words, if I am living in Miami,
yes,
are you willing to come to Miami to do my roof replacement, or do I have to be in Orlando area? Those areas nearer to Orlando.
If you call me from Miami, I'm on my way. I'm getting in the truck right now, like while we're doing the interview, and I'm on my way to Miami to take a look at your roof. And I mean, of course, I'd probably get there when it's dark, but I would love to inspect roofs in Miami. I've done roofs in Miami, not replaced yet, but I've actually expanded my own business. The company is still just doing Central Florida for the most part, but I have decided that I wanted to take on the challenge of Miami. So I've actually met with a few Miami homeowners and observed the damage. Miami is a little bit more difficult because for whatever reason in Miami, the insurance companies don't want to pay for the roofs, what the cost is. Whereas in Central Florida, there isn't much haggling, which is, of course, why the business started here to begin with. But yes, if someone calls me from Miami, the way I see it is that someone has to replace the roof. And I don't see why it shouldn't be me.
Fantastic. But Central Florida, name some of the communities that you work in right now. So, there might be somebody who is online, who is watching and lives in, for instance, Winter Garden or Tampa,
yes,
and really don't know that you're that close.
I
don't know. I'm just putting out all these names.
Of course, I'm located in Orlando, and when I say Central Florida, I do mean Gainesville. Even though Gainesville might not be considered Central Florida, I mean Tampa, I mean Zephyr Hills, I mean Spring Hill, Mascot, Winter Garden, Winter Park, Pine Hills, the east side of Orlando, so Alafaya area, Oviedo, Christmas. I just did a roof last Monday in Titusville, Melbourne, Sebring. I'm just saying names because those are all areas within Central Florida. And we're also, again, especially with the hurricane now, going to be going to Fort Myers, like every other roofing company. And we'll be in the Cape Coral area as well. And tomorrow, I'm actually supposed to drive to Ormond Beach. So again, if you look at the map of Florida, outside of Fort Lauderdale and Miami, we have done that so far, and I'm the one that's expanding to Miami. I actually received a referral for Port St. Lucie on Thursday, so I'll be going to Port St. Lucie at some time this week.
But
you name it, I will drive and come within Florida.
Fantastic. For those who are just joining, I am speaking with my son, Lexford Earle, who replaces roofs for persons in Central Florida, and he is moving throughout Florida, to be honest with you, because now he says he's doing roofs in Miami. Now, I sent my son to FIU to do his first degree and the UCF to do his second degree. So He did his first degree, which is a bachelor's program at Florida International, and then he went on to University of Central Florida for his master's program. And like I was saying earlier, I thought that my son would have been able to get a kind of job in a place where so and so was so. However, that was wishful thinking on my part. This boy has more ambition than I had for him. So he wants it to do his own thing, and that's what he's doing. And I thought, why not? If I'm talking to so many other people, why not talk to my own son? So I've been trying to get him for a year to do a live with me, and now he has decided to do it. My next question to you,
Yes.
Lexford, is: say, for instance, a homeowner has been dropped from
Yes.
their insurance, right?
Yes.
Some after submitting their claim forms for roof replacement, because that does happen where people
Every day.
submit their claims, but they're dropped by the insurance companies.
Yes.
How do you mitigate those circumstances and work past that? How do you do that?
Well, I'd like to draw this parallel. So, when I was in grad school, one of the things I realized was just how much of a researcher I was. In grad school, required so much looking up of information and reading through primary and secondary sources. And the more information you have, the more educated you become. I believe, as long as it's credible information, right? And I say that to say, homeowners, people who have insurance, period, for the most part, they just aren't knowledgeable or aware of what their rights are and what is required by the insurance. So let's say you're driving your car, and this is in Jamaica or the United States, and someone hits you. If they're going 10 miles an hour or 10 kilometers an hour, you're probably going to fix that out of your pocket. Why? Because you don't want to let the insurance company know, and the insurance company is going to, raise your rates because of the accident. With homeowners is the same thing. Homeowners are afraid of submitting claims because they might be dropped, or they're afraid of submitting claims because they're afraid of their rates going up, when it's actually the opposite. No, we've replaced roofs for people who ended up getting dropped by the insurance anyways. But the good news is that what we've seen is that with a newer roof, you go to a different insurance company, your rates are going to go down. There's no way they put your rates up for having a new roof. You have a new roof. The liability with that new roof is much less than a roof that is 17, 18 years old, that is more susceptible to not just a hurricane, just a tropical storm.
But
So
why didn't I think about that? Go ahead. I'm sorry to butt in, but
no, it's fine.
go ahead. Continue.
No, yes. So with the roofs, as I was saying, homeowners are not aware of what the rights is, and again, the right in Florida, which is a right that we use to the homeowners' benefit, is that if a roof has a certain amount of damage and it's a certain number of years old, then yes, the insurance company is liable. I'm not sure what the laws are in other states, but based on Florida law, the insurance company is required to replace the roof. Homeowners don't know that. They'll get the letter from the insurance company saying you're being dropped, or they will look at the age of the roof and say, oh gosh, I have to pay $15,000-$16,000 to replace the roof. Whereas if you go through me and you go through a professional, me being the professional, at most you end up paying your deductible, and your deductible might be $500, might be $1,000, might be $2,500, depending on what kind of insurance you have. But again, even if you are dropped by your insurance company, it's their loss. You have a new roof, and the insurance companies will line up to sign you at that point at a lower rate than what you were paying before.
So actually, when should a roof be replaced?
Any time after 15 years is when you should start looking into getting it done. You can have an inspection done, and I might not find any damage. And you just leave it alone until there is damage for you to go ahead and replace it, right? Or a hurricane to come and do damage, and then you replace it through the hurricane. But a roof that's 8 to 10 years old, or even 10 to 12 years old, if it was done properly, if it was done by distinctive contractors, it should last. And our roofs last 20 or more years. Our guarantee, not guarantee, our warranty for the shingles is 30 years. So
For
again, if the
30
roof was
years
done
is a
properly, you
guarantee
really
that you're
shouldn't be
giving.
seeing.
Let me 30
for the
years
shingles.
guarantee.
Yes,
Wow.
for the shingles. Yes.
That's a long time.
No, again, that's architectural shingles. A lot of the roofs that I've done are not architectural shingles. Those are roofs that were done 2001, 2002, all the way to 2006. So they wouldn't have that guarantee. They're more likely now to want to be replaced in 2022.
I got you.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, Florida had a hurricane very
Yes.
recently, parts of the state. Many homes were affected.
Unfortunately, yes.
Some of them are going to need roof replacement, eh?
They will. Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
And what was the
Would
question?
you be one of those persons who one would call for that?
I would hope so, especially after this live. I would hope that I'm the first person that they call. I was in full disclosure. I was in Jamaica with you when the hurricane hit, and one of the calls I received was from someone, a neighbor of someone whose roof I'd done, and they let me know that their roof was leaking, and they had two more homes that they needed to have looked at as well. So I came back to Orlando and went straight to work, and I've been working ever since. So I would hope that they give me a call because you do need someone to take a look at it, especially if it's leaking.
You hear that, guys? My son says if your is over 15 years old, if your roof was damaged by the hurricane that just passed through, you need to give him a call. I hope that you'll tell us, Rayon, how it is that persons can reach you as well. Your email address, telephone number, whatever it is that persons need to, how they need to get through to you. I hope you will speak to that. No.
I
Is
want,
there any questions you will be willing to ask to answer those questions as well?
of
If
course,
persons have any? All
of
right.
course.
Go ahead.
What I'd say is that I don't have a TikTok. I'm sorry
Mm-hmm.
to disappoint. I know everyone has a TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. I do have a Facebook page, which is connected to you. My name, Lexford R. Earle. But my phone number, we can put it in the chat, or we can leave my information at the end of the session that you and I are having. My phone number is available. I'm available. I don't want to say 24/7 because I do need sleep, but I'm prompt in returning calls and messages, and I'm quick to set up appointments as well. So yes, I'm definitely able to be reached, whether it be Instagram, Facebook,
I
or
was about to ask you about Instagram. I thought you had an Instagram page.
I do have an Instagram page. Yes.
Okay. So
So
what's your handle? What is your
handle
Instagram page?
for now, my Instagram page is JRockU33.
J
So
Rock. Spell that
you
for me.
J, the letter
Uh-huh.
J, Rock,
ROCK.
U
Mm-hmm. The, the,
33.
the the letter U.
Yeah, the letter
At
U
what?
33.
33. Okay,
Yes.
so that's your name on
Yeah.
Instagram.
A
All
combination of
right.
our birthdays. Yes.
All right. Persons would like to hear your telephone number. A
It's
friend of mine says that she would like to tell her family in Florida about you. What is the telephone number they can reach you at?
is 786-556-9392.
All right. So I'm going to put this in 786-556-9392. I'm putting
Yes.
it in the chat. So persons can see your telephone contact, because
Thank you.
I still think that the telephone is the easiest thing. It's
It's the easiest way.
an email.
A text
Would you
message.
like to give your email address, or you don't want to do that here? Do you
No,
have
that's fine. No, that's absolutely fine. It's just a long email address.
oh, it's a long email. Let me write it in.
Yeah.
What is the
It
email
is
address?
Lexford, Lexford
Lexford.
dot Earle
Uh-huh.
at distinctive
At DISTINCT, Mhm.
contractors
Distinctive Contractors. Your
dot com.
mother needs a new pair of glasses. Contractors.com.
Yes.
All right. Oh, I think I did it for you, Lexford. Lexford.earl at distinctivecontractors.com.
I will never get used to you calling me that.
What, Lexford? You're
That
still my Rayon, but because of business purposes, I'm calling you Lexford,
yes.
but you're still my Rayon. Rayon just sound
I
like
will,
one
I
little
will have you,
baby.
I will have you
Okay,
know people
Steve.
call me and say Rayon all the time because of you. But yeah, people who know me as Rayon still call me, even in business, still call me Rayon. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
fine. So my
just
son's the name I love to call him is Rayon, but his government name in his passport is Lexford Earl. CB, thank you, my sweetie pie. I know you're in Florida too, so you may just have friends that you want to tell about the business that my son is doing. Um, guys, since I started doing these interviews, I've had people reach out to me to try to get um, their companies promoted or the things that they're doing, and I have no issues at all. I want to help small business operators to get the word out, to get them more business. So for me, it is, I'm humbled and honored to be able to do this for my own son. And of course, I've been doing this for other people over the years, but now I'm getting an opportunity to do it for the young man, the one picnic that may push out. Can I say that on this
you may,
interview?
you may. Yeah. We don't have the capabilities to bleep, unfortunately. So
Well, I don't think push out is a bad word.
no, I'm just saying if it was, not much we can do at this point.
We're streaming live.
Yes,
We're using we're
StreamYard.
streaming StreamYard. We're streaming live on my two Facebook pages and on YouTube. That is how special you are, my son.
We're on
I learned
YouTube.
how to do it
Oh,
properly, and I am streaming it on my YouTube and my two Facebook pages. So I hope to God that you will get some business out of this interview, my son.
as do I. And I figured with someone on that with you and the reach that you have, I figured the
Mm-hmm.
least I could do is speak with you so you could have a better understanding as well of what I do on a day-to-day basis. And
Mm-hmm.
for your friends, the thousands of friends that you have, someone
Yes.
must know someone. And
Agreed. Agreed. So, guys, I'm asking all my friends to tell your friends that there is a young Jamaican man in Florida, Central Florida, who replaces roofs and wants your business.
hey, I just wanted all I'd like to do is a free inspection. If your roof is getting up there in age, if your roof has any damage from the hurricane or previous damage, previous damage, I would gladly make the drive to take a look at what your roof looks like and what the damage looks like. And I will be honest with you. I will let you know if we need to wait for more damage, which again, the insurance companies don't want me saying that, but I don't think any of them are on this call. Or if
No,
we need
but this
to
is gonna
wait.
go out, so they're gonna hear.
Oh, well, hi,
But you're
insurance
not saying
companies.
anything that is
I'm not
illegal.
saying anything illegal. No,
Right.
it's the truth. They cannot dictate when you call. I'm sure they'd want you to call as soon as there is any damage, but they can't dictate when you call. So again, I will let you know if there's any damage whatsoever, what amount of damage you have, and if it is enough, in my opinion, in my educated opinion and my experience, if it is enough to get a full roof replacement. My goal is not to get your repair, and I won't. We don't do repairs for a reason. It's not to get you a repair. It's to get you a full roof replacement paid for by the insurance. It doesn't mean I don't do cash deals. I do cash deals as well. If you don't have insurance or you decide that, well, I want to keep this insurance company, I love them, and I'd much rather pay for this roof out of pocket, I'm able to give you an estimate as well as to what the roof would cost and how long it would take to do, which it takes a day and a half, maybe, if that. So most roofs I've done have taken a day.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of homeowners probably think that it's a long process and it takes a few days, and I don't want this dumpster in my driveway for this long, and we move really quickly, but efficient.
Fantastic. Thank you. Anthony Mark says, great information. CB says she's in Port St. Lucie. Um, if there are any questions, why are some of the visual signs you may need to replace a roof? No, so
Oh,
somebody's asking, Jessine Bay is asking, I'm thinking he wants to say, what are some of the visual signs that you may need to replace a roof? What are those signs that would
so
tell you that it's time to replace your roof?
a roof that's less than 10 years old might have a leak, and that leak might just be due to caulking that needs to be redone. So I wouldn't classify leaking on a younger roof as an indication that the roof should be replaced. I would say on an older roof, if the roof is 14, 15 years or higher, then that is a primary indicator that there is something going on with the roof. Another thing that you'll notice, whether it be an architectural shingle or what we call a three-tab shingle, which looks rectangular, is the shingles are creased. And the creasing takes place over a number of years because of the wind. So any winds that are over 50, 60 miles an hour, it blows under the shingle, no matter how well put down the shingles are. If you have winds over 50, 60 miles an hour, time and time again, eventually the shingles are going to lift up. And when it lifts up, see if I can find an example. So the shingles just lay down like this, right? Eventually,
Right.
with the wind, it bends. When the wind is blowing, it bends.
Ah,
When the wind is
so
not
that
blowing,
is an
it goes back down.
indication.
Well,
Ah,
when the wind is done blowing, it goes back down. But
mhm.
you'll notice if you're able to see it from your floor, the ground floor, or if you have a drone, or again if you're a homeowner that just likes doing work in your yard and you're walking around or even on your roof, you'll see there'll be a line on the shingle, which is an indication of the wind lifting it when the winds are pretty high. And that's the same for architectural as well as what we'd call a three-tab shingle. So that's another indicator. The best indicator to me is missing shingles. So if you come outside in your yard and you find a missing shingle or in the yard itself, that's an indication that the wind was too strong to the point where it took your shingles off. And then of
Mhm.
course the granulars, which some people would call the gravel, or the things that make up the shingle. If you find
Mhm.
those within your gutters, or more and more of those within your gutters, that's an
Mhm.
indication that your shingles are being worn down just by weather or age. So those
Ah,
are primary indicators.
thank you. Um, I'm getting a lot. Somebody's asking if you do roofs in Jamaica. Tell
I
them
would
not
love
yet.
to.
Just tell them
I
not
would
yet.
love to. Yes, not yet. I would love to. Eventually we will.
All right. Okay. Just seeing as another question.
Okay.
What's the best time of the year to get one's roof replaced?
Tomorrow.
And would be when? What? Okay, the best time of the year to get one's roof replaced would be when? That's the question. Same,
My
same
my
way. I
answer
just
is
turned it around in error.
yes. No,
Mhm.
my answer is tomorrow. I mean,
Once the roof is bad, so
I
there's no
know, I
best
know that
time of the
sounds,
year.
no,
So
I know
there's
that
no best time.
I know that sounds funny, but for me, what I've found is that if you're replacing it, if you decide you want to wait until a hurricane, I would hope that you have the hurricane deductible ready, because you would definitely get the insurance company to replace your roof. But if you have a 2% of the property value deductible for your hurricane, someone I met with last week was letting me know she just did not have the money for it. The roof was going. She knew she needed a new roof, but her hurricane deductible was going to end up costing her $8,000.
Mhm.
So I would say if you can avoid a hurricane, if hurricane deductible, that's great. Some people have
Give me
good
a
hurricane
minute. Give me a
deductible.
minute. Give me a minute. Dear God. Sorry about that, Rayon.
No,
Go
that's
ahead.
fine.
Yes,
That's fine.
continue.
Yes, I was saying that tomorrow will be the best time to replace your roof. But if you're someone who does not have the hurricane deductible, then you would wait until there is not a hurricane, like so another storm that's not considered a hurricane, where you would it would be wind damage instead of hurricane damage. And again, some you'd have to look at your policy, but your deductible for those things ranges from 500 to maybe 2,500 for the majority of homeowners. So
Okay.
I've found people replacing their roofs. I'd say don't replace your roof in June through August because it rains almost every day. Apart from that, there's no wrong time.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jermaine. Jermaine says, very informative. Altia Ling says hi. Jan
Yeah.
and Lexford. Carol Andrea Smith says, keep up the good work. And I saw where Donna Thompson said earlier that I must be very, she can only imagine how proud I am. Yes, I'm extremely proud because there are parents who send their children to school overseas and they turn into something totally different. They get into trouble. This boy, from the day he was born, he hasn't given me any trouble. But sent him to Cornwall College. When he was graduating, he was one of those speakers that they had on the podium talking about life. You know, he was one of those selected to speak at graduation. So I've always been very proud of him. But them say one pitney and no pitney. Me just sorry say me never give him a sister, you know, and or so. But maybe he'll give me another grandchild, so that will make up for me not having more than one child.
And I need more roofs to build more grandchildren. I promise you, you'll have grandchildren to be like. I just need.
Oh, Debbie Jolly shared this last week. Oh, so Marcia. Hi, Marcia. Thank you so much. She said that Debbie saved your information, sent your information to her last week. Thanks, Marcia. Hope you can use this service if you need him one of these times.
Yes.
Sandra Gordon says wonderful. Lexod, I'm not sure if there's anything else you want to say, but I know that we have gone 37 minutes into this live. We were hoping to do it for 30 minutes, so we have gone over 7 minutes.
I've
But of
been.
course,
I've not part of.
if there's anything else you want to say,
No, I'm not. I'm not long-winded at all. In fact, people in my personal life have said that they want more speaking from me. So I'm surprised that we went 7 minutes over. With that being said, I'm sure I'll tell you off this, but I can't thank you enough for sharing your platform with me or making your platform available to me.
my platform is yours. What is wrong with you?
It is your platform. It is your friend list. It's your streaming services that you're using to promote your son. And hey, if this is some kind of nepotism, I'm all for it. I don't care.
Somebody said it was nepotism. Yes.
Hey, other cultures do it. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that we're able to come together and do this on. I wouldn't say short notice, but I think I reached out to you like Wednesday and said, hey, it's time. And you moved pretty quickly to ensure that it could happen within 5 days. So there isn't a better mother. Thank you.
I couldn't disappoint you, my son. I knew I had to.
You never have and you never will.
Never. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, all my friends, for coming. Adrian Freighter says he's proud of you. You're to keep shining. My friend Altia Ling says I'm long-winded, but it's all right. She always talk about me like that because she's an English lecturer. That's why she always think if me ever say anything wrong today, it's a problem with her. So we're not worried. Oh, Akeem. Oh, and my nephew, Akeem, did the flyer for us. What a beautiful child. He is so talented. He is so talented. Thank you, Akeem. I appreciate you coming on as well. Guys, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
We'll be back. Next week.
Will be back? Oh, no, you're someone else. Okay.
Breast cancer next week. Sorry. I want to talk about breast cancer next week. A lot of people talking about breast cancer, and I want to join the conversation with breast cancer.
That's not my specialty, but I'll tune in nonetheless.
Thank you, Rayon. You better make breast your specialty. That's all I have to tell you. Bye. Have a great day.
Thank you for that one as well. Thank you.